12Nov2025 Fisheries Committee meeting. We'll start with the roll call attendance. I'll start with Seth to my left.
Seth Walker.
Jay McCrate.
Jerry Lehman.
Billy Saxton.
Allison Hawks.
George,
Samantha Bohan.
oops, sorry, George Prince.
David.
Meg Gilly.
Close.
We're in a hurry here. Okay, we'll do the pledge next. Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Did that one.
And we will open it up to public comment, any non-agenda items. No, nobody? Any committee announcements?
I'm gonna do that now. Jay volunteered to be secretary, and I've been a terrible secretary, so if somebody wants to make a motion to make her secretary over me, I would love it.
I make a motion to have Jay be our secretary.
Second? Billy, thank you. All in favor?
Congratulations, Jay.
Congratulations, Jay, unanimous.
It's nothing. It's nothing.
So George, real quick. George?
Yes?
Rock star. There you go.
So I just wanted to say a huge thank you to Paul.
Yes.
For his service to the town. It's going to be a huge loss for us and a great gain for Portland. But he's done a lot of good in the town and built a lot of trust and good relationships, and he's done a lot of good work in the town. So I just wanted to say that I appreciate that and wish him well.
Yep. I honestly had no idea how much the harbor master job, how important it was and how much was involved till recently. So, yeah, and he served us well, so. Very good. First item is meet the new harbor master. I assume you're going to talk to us about that.
Yep, sorry for the repeat for the three people that were just in the other meeting, but just, most of you guys know me partially. It's just to give you an idea of my background, why I'm here, and give you a chance to ask any other questions you've got. I have worked on the water for like 30 years, all over the place. Been tied to Harpswell over and over again in different ways. Stern for some guys, done some marine resource work, done some shellfish survey work, and my former husband was the Marine Patrol officer here for a bunch of time, and I'm happy to have a chance to come back around and do this job after being the deputy for the summer. So happy to take any questions or if there's any concerns. I will say my one weak point compared to Paul is I don't have a lot of enforcement experience writing tickets. I kind of have focused a little bit more on working with people to get compliance with stuff, so that's the tack I plan to take moving forward, and that's all I got to say.
I have a question for Selectman Gilly. Could you please tell us the process for this transition?
What do you mean?
What is involved?
Right now, Darcy is the interim harbor master for 6 months, and then we, probably before the end of the 6 months, I'd say probably 3 or 4 months in, where the town is going to put out to hire for a new harbor master, and I'm sure Darcy will apply, and I don't know if anybody else will apply, but it'll be an open application, so. And then from there, we'll look at the applicants, and we'll pick the permanent harbor master, kind of start out next summer.
Good. Well, best of luck, Darcy. Aquaculture review, is that also you, Darcy?
Yep. So I attended the public hearing for Ben Weeks. They held it in Brunswick for some reason, but I went as the harbor master, and I commented on two things that maybe we missed or that didn't get addressed earlier. One was he agreed to take all of his seaweed gear out of the water by June 15th, and DMR pointed out that pokie season starts June 1st generally, so we asked that he remove the gear by June 1st so that there was no overlap with the seasons. He was totally fine with that. And then I had a separate request for DMR they were fine with him taking out his culture gear, but DMR was expecting that the corner markers would stay there because that's kind of standard for them. And we asked, no, could you just please take everything out? Ben had no problem doing that. That question's going to kind of sit with DMR. It'll be up to them if they're okay with it. I explained, like, it's the same as having the gear there. If there's something in the water, it's in the way. So they're going to consider that before they make their final decision on that. Hopefully I made our case, and we'll see how that turns out. And then, to be fair, I left that municipal questionnaire Middle Bay lease thing on there from last time, and I don't have anything to say about it, so sorry about that. I don't know if anybody's got anything else from last time on that, but we can skip over that if you want.
We did the last time, right?
It's all, I thought so, I wasn't sure. That's-
Yeah, I did believe we did it 2 meetings ago, correct?
Okay, yeah. Yep, that's it.
We have that in the file somewhere.
Yeah, yep.
Anybody else? Good. Next is plan for fishermen and harvesters to assist in community with food. I think that's you, Matt, wanted to bring that up, and maybe
I'll
Jay.
take this one. It may be a null and void point at this point, but I think it can be something that can be utilized in other areas. Back originally, when there was the risk of people not getting their SNAP benefits, I reached out to a bunch of different fishermen and a bunch of different wharfs and asked if they would be willing to donate some product, and people were, and then the town put my name and number on the door, and people were contacting me if they weren't able to get food and stuff, and I was providing them with a meal to kind of get through a tough time. And I provided a couple dozen meals or so. It slowed down over the last week, I'd say, or so, and but I think this is something that we can do as the fishing community to kind of give back to the town, and that doesn't necessarily, I mean, I would much rather see somebody eat a lobster or a piece of fish or a clam over a Hostess or a Big Mac or something like that. So I think we have the ability to kind of help the community out with a healthy food option. I mean, Jerry can preach to this better than me. But it would be quite simple. There's 276 lobstermen in this town. If every lobsterman just donated 1 lobster, that would feed this town for close to a year, really. You know, so 1 or 2 lobsters would go a long ways if you don't happen to be a lobsterman, like not even a bushel, or like a small, like probably a half a bushel of clams, you know, every clammer type of thing. Or if you're a scalloper, you know, a couple of, not even a gallon, you know, like a pint of scallops, you know, if every scalloper donated a pint. So I'm not asking a lot for everybody, just a small amount. And even if we pulled it all together and sold that product on the market, we could donate it to, say, the Santa Fund or something like that. I think it would be a simple, easy way for us to kind of give something back. It makes us look good, you know, and it's a way for us to help the community, and maybe the community will get something back to us. Maybe it curbs a couple nuisance complaints or something like that. I don't see any adverse things coming out of this for the fishing community. I always see positive. So it was an idea I had, and I think if people are interested, we can maybe work to set something like that up.
Are you like making a meal out of this lobster? or
No,
just
at this
giving
point,
them-
I just bring them the lobsters, and it's up to them to cook it.
That makes it simple enough.
There was one group of people that were a little older and weren't able to pick them, and I picked the lobsters out to them, type of thing, but that was only one. But for the most part, everybody's been able to pick the lobsters.
Awesome, Matt.
Yeah, that is awesome.
Great,
Yeah, it is.
great work. Are you also looking to incorporate this with forgive me, aging at home? Is that the correct?
Harpswell.
Yeah, we had talked about that
Yeah.
here prior. Are you looking to possibly incorporate
Yeah, I
with
mean,
that
that
as
could
well?
be, I said the Santa Fund about Harpswell aging at home, you know, I mean, we could provide 1 meal a year for them, for their meals in a pinch type of thing, you know. I talked to do you remember how many meals they make, Jay?
Oh,
Do you remember how many meals they make?
It was incredible.
the last, it just happened, but it's every other Tuesday.
Yeah,
And it was 63 deliveries of 4 meals each.
Wow.
so, math, like 240 meals roughly.
250, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, I
and
mean,
it's
you
been
think
going
about
up.
A meal is, one lobster could feed somebody, you know, for the
They
most
would,
part.
they would be thrilled.
And they could, I'm sure they could make it into a lobster stew or a bisque or something like that, you know, with some, they could have some other ingredients, you know, but if we provided kind of the main protein type of thing and just did it once a year, you know, it's a small way to give back.
There are a couple, if I can add, there are a couple options. One is the Meals in a Pinch, which is every other Tuesday. People drop off food. There's also Cooking with Friends for Friends, which happens twice a month at Mid-Coast Hunger Prevention Kitchen. And it's a regular, a group cooks, and those meals go to the Meals in a Pinch. So that would be a great place for uncooked food that they could prepare, make a lobster stew or clam chowder.
Do they know how to fillet?
Good question. You could teach them.
Put them to work, Jerry.
We could do 43 degrees north, where you show them how to fillet fish.
I got the first one, you get the other.
Monique taught how to.
Where I struggle
deal
with
with
this
lobster.
is I'm pretty good at reaching out to the places in the harbor and stuff, but I've got a lot on my plate. And it's hard for me to reach out to the wharfs on Bailey Island over on the other side of Harpswell and stuff like that. So if people could maybe talk to their respective wharfs or maybe talk to a friend that fishes from a different wharf and see if people would be receptive to this. You know, that's something we can maybe look into, and maybe if you were able to talk to some of the harvesters, David.
Yeah.
Look like that, maybe at the bring it up at the Marine Resource, when you guys have that yearly meeting coming up, don't you?
Yep.
Yeah, maybe bring it up there, see how that goes. Just a thought.
How far in advance do you need to know, like, someone's gonna give you lobsters for that?
That's a great question. If it's for the Tuesday morning, there's a sign up,
Yeah.
and you get it by email. You sign up for what you'd like to bring. So it's a it doesn't have to be specific, but main dish or dessert or whatever.
You guys have freezer space?
Yes, lots of freezer space.
And we can drop off a live lobster.
Well, let me check, because
Okay.
I think,
I talked to Lily, originally about this, and she mentioned that they, for the Meals in the Pinch is what I originally talked to her, and she said they had used at that industrial kitchen up on is that the one at the Mid-Coast Hunger?
yeah, and that's 2 Fridays a month, so that's
Yeah.
where they would cook that. So let me find out details about dropping off and that kind of thing for that.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
And I would just say, if they need help in that, and you can talk to me, because I would be interested, I didn't know that existed, but maybe helping cook some stuff. Matt had reached out, and obviously I think it's a great idea, and we will be participating at the work. And I would just like to see it, and not wanting to put strain on anybody, and I know we'll do it all year round, because we always feed people or people that we think that are in need, we do that anyway. But I'd like to see something that was sort of ongoing.
Yeah,
You know, maybe that we work out, this is a ongoing thing.
That's
and
what I
then-
was getting at. Perfect.
Right, and educating people about eating
Yeah.
fish and eating healthy, and, you know, I mean, you've done a little show before, Jerry, I'm just saying, you probably could do one for them of cooking. I mean, if you did something and videoed it, just of you making a meal or something,
Or
just.
David could.
Yeah, that,
They got
He
that.
loves to be on TV, I'm sure, making a meal for
Jerry can
everybody.
cook.
it could be TV, it
I'm not
could be,
USA have the
cooking
show.
meal. If I can't cook. It's pretty self-explanatory.
It's just one of the things, though, it's with Jerry, and we've talked about this before, with our group too, is that just educating people about eating fish.
Yeah.
Because there's so many negative connotations for eating fish. It's yucky and, you know, it's slimy, or there's bugs in, or whatever the stuff is that people say. But when you really get down to it, none of that stuff is true. It just would be nice for more people to learn about it. I think it would also help strengthen the fishing industry
I think
as
so
well.
too. It creates networking connections, you know, where you might find new customers, you know, you may give them one meal and they got a little bit of extra money. One month and they come down, they buy a lobster when they never would have before type of thing, you know?
Well, I just learned tonight that they have a program that could is feeding people and doing stuff, and that we could be cooking and helping in a different way,
Yeah.
just from tonight.
Or the demonstration idea, the filleting. Monique did that with lobster, showed people. I was surprised how people didn't know what to
Yeah.
do with lobster. You can't assume anything.
We get it at the restaurant all the time. People don't know how. I'm sure you get it
Yeah.
too. But Jerry's done a couple videos that is one with redfish. What did we do at the restaurant? We did haddock tacos. But,
Haven't Jerry done.
yeah. But those, even if the group didn't want to make the video, it's easy enough to make a video just to say, hey, this is what's going on. People, did you know you can help feed people? Jerry loves to be on video.
They also
so.
do make videos, so
There you go.
we'll sign Jerry up. And David
Jerry.
can show you
Yes.
how to deal with clams.
All in favor?
Going back to see now.
Yeah. What you get for someone else? Ann?
I'll email you about
The question, Matt, I don't know where this will end up. I know we had that conversation, Santa Fund coming in, talking about helping the younger generation. Is that something we want to try to tie this into?
I think
Like promoting our young fishermen
Yeah,
at the
exactly.
same time, you know, if we're gonna help them set them up, you know, one lobster is, you know, it's more of a promo for the long term.
Yeah,
For stability.
I think Gary's kind of onto something there. I mean, if we make a video, let's find a younger fisherman maybe to make the video. No offense, Jerry.
Not an old bull.
No, but there are younger folks than us. There was one here with his
Still
son
talking.
last meeting. Your son.
Does he want to be on video? That's
Well,
the
we're
thing.
volunteering at him.
Hey,
He said
okay. We volunteer while he's not here.
Hawks fly into danger.
I think
Yeah.
the community aspect too, it makes me think about the landowner appreciation event that you do. That's, I think, incredibly important and powerful. So along those same lines, the good PR,
Right.
yeah.
Would it be worth having time to structure how we look at this? I mean, with all the options.
Say it again, Jerry.
All of the options we've talked about, I mean, between the Santa Fund,
Yeah.
wanting to get the kids ready, I know, I mean, I'm pretty sure there ain't anybody that's gonna say, no, I do not wanna help people that need help. Well, the majority.
Yeah.
So, I mean, is that something, I mean, where's the vessel that we're putting this into?
That's
more
what
of
we
the
need to
question.
figure out. We need to kind of organize and, like you said, create a vessel that administers this, for lack of better terms, and gets it going.
I thought you were the vessel, Matt.
So, yeah, at this point.
Is there a town staff member that takes care of, like, if someone needs heat or, you know?
Yeah,
another town-
Katie, who was just here. as our
So maybe we
general
connect, maybe she can
And she
close
was
that loop?
willing, she has been actually helping me
Yeah.
with distributing so far, so you guys should laugh actually.
I know, I think that is the key person right there.
Yeah, I think we should.
You can email her, it's
Send
okay.
her a text.
I can't.
Who is it really?
Oh,
Katie,
Oh, Katie, yeah.
Katie Neal,
The
she's
rep.
our
She's great.
general
Good
assistance
energy.
director.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can bring this to her, and I know she'd be willing to help, because she was with this first part, so.
Yeah.
I think that this could be something that she could kind of help us with. I just got a text message, maybe she's watching, no, different Katie. That distracted me. I'll talk to her, and we'll get something set in place, you know, like a date and a place to drop stuff off, you know, and then maybe find out where that is, when that is, and how many they need.
Yep.
And then we can reach out and start from there.
Oh, yeah, I mean, if the fishermen's drop off, I mean, for live and frozen or fresh.
I don't mind going around, if every wharf just kind of collects it somewhere at the wharf, I can easily run around every wharf and grab, you know, what they have collected, that's not a problem.
I'm just curious between this, whatever, this pension, what they need bi-monthly, you know, it just makes it easier to distribute and when to distribute. You know, I got no problem giving fish.
Yeah, but you need a when
I
and
need
where.
when and where and who.
And also, there's probably gonna be stipulations, like you're not gonna be able to just drop off frozen, like there's probably gonna be, how they want it to be received has to be,
I'll find out.
well, I mean, when you're serving food, there's a lot of regulations and rules to it, and I don't
Oh,
know
yeah,
what it
they-
is with the I'm sure it has to be something with a nonprofit, but
Yeah,
how
they
it
get-
has to be sealed or delivered is probably a big deal.
Yeah, find
They-
out how
Lock
the
them in the
fishermen would
door.
have to get it, when and where they would have to get it to, and you can just email
Yeah.
that to me,
Okay.
and I can, or we can email it amongst the committee, that's where.
And
we don't
they
really just-
they
We don't
get
have to
trained.
discuss it, you can just share info. and
Right,
we'll
we're
discuss
just
it.
sharing info.
They get trained there in safe handling, so they'll have an answer for that.
Yes,
So,
I'm
yeah,
sure they
that's
will.
great. And it, Santa Fund and you're talking about a wide range of people, which is
Yeah.
really important. And the Meals in a Pinch isn't all older. It's, but to get to kids, I think.
There are, I was gonna just ask that, it is kind of an array, or an age array that gets the Meals in a Pinch. Because that's kind of why I talked about the Santa Fund, is
Yeah.
I thought that originally that Meals in a Pinch kind of just targeted the older community in Harpswell.
Well, it does, but it's not limited to. So somebody breaks an ankle, they might use it
Yeah.
short term, but it's not by age.
Okay,
But it's not likely to be serving kids as much as like Santa Fund.
let me ask this, let's just say that there's 240 meals that have to be cooked for Meals in a Pinch. Would they be willing to say maybe cook 300? And we could put 60 of them in the food pantry here, like in the freezer. That number could change,
Yeah,
whatever. it
yeah,
could happen. But
yeah.
would they be willing to maybe cook some extra that Katie could distribute to the Santa Fund to some of those people?
Good question.
And then we could have one drop-off place, Katie could help distribute to some of the younger families, the Meals in a Pinch could get more of the older families, and I think there's our vessel.
I do know that they've been panicked about having enough food for the Meals in a Pinch. But I think that's an excellent idea, so let me find out.
Good. Any thoughts, ideas? Does that sound good, bad?
Sounds amazing.
Awesome.
Yeah.
We should
Love
focus
it.
on that. That's a great goal for us.
Yeah, that's,
I agree.
I'm going to bring that up in a few minutes, actually. So, yeah, thank you, Jay, for
Yeah, thank you.
mentioning the shell fishermen. I was going to bring that up. They've done a great job with their PR campaign.
Yeah,
Thank you, David, for that. I know you're a big part of that.
I hear
And,
a lot about
yeah.
it from non-fishermen.
They've done a great
People
job.
love
And I'd like to challenge the lobstermen to step up and try and at least meet what they're doing.
No, you throw the word challenge in and it's
Just
on.
tell them you
Exactly.
can't do it, we'll do it.
Exactly. But I'd also like to caution that we get our ducks in a row before we do this. We don't want to show up with 300 pounds of lobster, and that's quite an undertaking to cook 300 pounds of lobsters and clean it if you don't have a crew there to. So let's just make sure we get a place to put it before we show up with it. But I think this is a great idea.
No wonder the education off filleting, I'll bring some fish.
Yeah, there you go.
I love that idea.
I'm just not responsible for any kids with nuts.
You are wrong.
We'll have a sign away for Jay.
As long as they're mine. Schmack. Don't do that.
So, anything else on that? Next is the legacy fishing maps updates. We were trying to do a monthly 15-minute review on that. Anybody want to speak to that?
Yeah, I don't know if you guys have given any thought to areas you want to look at. I don't know the best way to tackle this, or if anybody's even awake enough tonight to look at it and think about it.
Did we want to adjust a little whale spot where all that?
Yep, do you guys want to, that seems like
We want to kind of fill that in.
an easy one to kind of get under our belt, and
I
then,
think Seth was knew exactly where.
All of that, where that star is,
Every
that
place
12,
where
that
there's
28, that 55, the 42, the 19, all of
Yeah.
it.
Do you want to go up and just point on the screen?
yep.
So you can kind of.
Closed.
Felt like we're listening to a bingo there for a
Yeah.
second.
They fish,
We were-
everybody fishes all around this, they fish down through this. We tow down through this. It's bumpy, but you can do it. Up here on the other end of Little Whaleboat
So Seth, that would be a scallop drag? So that would be
is the
what?
scallop tow.
Yeah.
Has a scallop tow, there's a scallop tow up through these ledges. Guys haul up through there, guys haul up through here, 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 all of up through here, all of up through there. None of this is, they all lobster up through here, up through here, up through that guy, this guy, everywhere they fish. All of that.
We should put
All
them
of
on this
that.
every single time. This is awesome.
It's,
Just cover it.
It's just covered.
It's really,
Done.
I mean, you
Well,
know,
yeah.
Well, you know.
Donnie and the Ulrichsons fish this hard. All of this, up above shelter, where all that gravel is, they fish it hard all year. They're taking Donnie's traps up there now,
Right.
because Donnie can't walk.
I guess I shouldn't be surprised how many fishermen still don't know about this. I told someone about this today, and they
And that doesn't even include Potsis,
were, wow,
Haskell's.
really?
All of that gets fished
So,
throughout the year.
So I guess my point is.
Punts, little, big boats.
It's important to sit down and mark the lobster grounds. The scallop tows are really important as well. It's a really important source of income for certain people in this town.
Especially
So
since we
that's
just
really
got 2 new
marked.
licenses in this town.
Right, so I think, Seth, instead of, I think we need to get that on the map. That's super important to me.
Looks like a good first thing for the educational piece. Start pushing.
I mean, I'm not saying that that map's not good. I'm just saying there's more that it doesn't cover.
We knew it was not done. It will never be done, Seth.
Yep.
Well, yeah, just call it all in. We fish everywhere. And that's the truth. It's not just me saying, hey, we don't. We share it, but they fish. Lobsters, they crawl. They're looking for food. They're not going to stay here. They go everywhere. Scallops stick to gravel. Gravel and rocks.
So is there a way for us to, reaching out to the town, can we make a sort of a campaign in the paper and then just say as committee members that we would want, set up a meeting if we're gonna do this 15-minute review every month?
It'd be nice if we could get some fishermen to come in.
Yeah.
Every single
meeting.
month and say this, I mean, I don't know I don't know how to do this mapping stuff, stuff blows my mind, but if there's if you wanna put target areas, if you wanna just say
I
a
think
certain
that's a
thing,
good
so you
idea.
could have.
Yeah.
So you can have people say, hey, we are putting it in the paper, we need the voices of the fishermen, and we need you to, 15 minutes, that's all we're asking, is 15 minutes to come out and say, this is where I fish.
I think
And you
that's
can
a
point
really
to it, just like Seth did, I thought that was pretty easy, right? You
Well,
don't
this
have
is
to.
where I know people fish, because you
Yes.
don't want to say where you fish, but I know people fish here.
I was gonna say, no one's coming in to get.
Yeah, but I mean, even up in the,
I'm
No
speaking
secret.
even
from
up in the mill
everywhere.
pond, in the springtime, people fish up there.
I think Allison has a really good idea though there. I think that's kind of what we should do is target certain areas, and we can name them in the paper, like whale boat up. So say the whale boat, the goslings, the whale boats and the goslings, we're gonna review at December's fishery committee meeting. If you fish there, please come in and share where there's fishing activity, or if you, we don't even have to say if you fish there. If there's fishing activity in that area, because like Billy said, then maybe people would be more apt to come in if they didn't feel as we were trying to get their specific information, more as we were just trying to get general information. And they'd be more apt to do it. We can put something on the website, we can put something on the town's Facebook.
Well, this
or we
is
can
in
put something-
interest of making so there's not gear conflict.
Right.
Yep.
So I mean, I think that that's how we need to stage this, is that this is for the
Yep.
benefit of you, so you don't have this gear conflict going on.
I also don't think it should be restricted to one area every meeting. If someone wants to come in and talk about an
I was
area,
gonna say
it should
that
be
too.
open.
I
It should just be
agree.
an open. I think it'd be really hard to say, hey, this month we're doing this, for this month, I think people are gonna be overwhelmed, it should just be, we will look at the map at any time, at every month we will look at it, at whatever spot you wanna look at it. We just want people, we don't wanna defer, we want people to come. We
Yeah,
don't wanna
that's
say,
a good
hey, I
point.
gotta wait 3 months to go in, no,
Yeah, that's a good
we'll
point.
take your information right now.
Maybe we start just advertising that now.
I think we should just keep popping it out there, hey, don't
Okay,
forget.
so tiny wet blanket here. I am here for December, but then I have a boat job that I had committed to before I took this job, so I'm gonna miss January and February. So I don't know if you want to go hard in December and then do a pause, or
Well, we-
give them maps and they can
I was
fill
gonna
them
say, if we
in.
gave them maps and
Yep.
they colored them in on your return.
Yeah,
we
and I
maybe
can-
do
I
that.
can
They're
definitely
not gonna
that.
do it. We've already asked them to do that.
Yeah.
We're asking them to just come in here and do what Seth just did.
Yeah.
That is the easiest and best way, and probably the way I can even maybe get my husband to come in and give some info. Here, touch this, and now it's somebody else's problem. I mean, if we're videoing these are always something Darcy can go back and watch the
Yeah.
part
Yep.
for where people are talking about.
And I can possibly, when I'm gone, I was talking with Amelia today, who is going to work with me to get all of this integrated onto the town website. I might be able to leave my GIS files with her and have her navigate through them if people want to come for those 2
And
months
it's
that
only
I'm gone.
2 meetings, right?
Yep.
I mean, it's not like it's.
Yep. I just don't want to lose momentum. I feel bad if like
It's-
people get going and then they're like, oh, but not next month, you know.
That's okay, just getting the rhythm of things, like, this is just what we do every month.
Yep.
Just look at it
Yeah.
every month.
Like
If we don't
15
change anything,
minutes
that's fine,
every
you don't have to, it's just,
Yep.
it's important to get in the rhythm of it.
Yep.
Because we know it's not perfect, like,
Right.
we know it needs to be adjusted.
And I think we just need to be better at advertising about it, and that's an easy enough fix. We have enough media platforms that we can utilize in the town, and Amelia's starting to do that monthly newsletter now, and we can include something in that as well.
And I
Well,
think,
And, sorry, but not just like a little tiny 3-thing blurb. I'm talking like a half-page ad or something that's a little more significant if you want people to come out
Do you
and.
think you'd be able to, not to put you on the spot, but do you think you'd be able to maybe write something up for an ad, and if you can write something up, I can get it published?
How about
Under the-
some sort of a printout? How many wharfs are in town? 20, 25?
Yeah.
How about a nice printout like we do for the boat races or whatever? And put one in every office, you know, at all the wharfs,
Where they get their checks.
where they pick their checks up. That's what we do. We have what we call mailboxes. They're just, and, yeah, put it there, and then they kind of have to look at it, or, most fishermen don't even know about this committee yet. I understand we're new and whatnot, but and if they have heard of us, they don't know what we do.
Oh, we're still figuring it out.
Yeah, we're just getting
That's
going,
okay.
yeah. So,
Would it be
It's our third
helpful
meeting,
to,
yeah, maybe it could be that could be part of it, have you heard? And they meet on is it the second Wednesday of every
And
month?
we
And
need
please, we need your
help.
input.
how
You know,
about,
come help us with the legacy fishing maps.
how about trying to get an anchor article?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
we
Focus
did that,
on-
that too as well, but, I don't know how many fishermen sit down and read the anchor, to be honest, but maybe their wives will look at it and be like, hey, did you know
Or
about this?
husbands?
No, they won't.
But definitely if they have to move something to get their check, they're gonna, I hate to put it that way, but
I'm
that,
just thinking all of it.
Right.
As you said, all our
I don't
platforms.
think there's,
Right.
with something like that, I don't think there's such a thing as too much.
Right.
Until you ask your bosses for a budget to do it, then that will be, because it's gonna cost us to put this stuff in the paper.
you know,
Who advertised for us for free?
An article doesn't
Facebook,
cost
in the town
anything.
website.
That's what I'm saying.
Stuff
So
that
as soon
nobody
as you
looks
go to,
at.
it's not cheap to advertise unless you have a paper that wants to work with you and be a participant or donate.
Well, I mean,
It's
it doesn't hurt
expensive.
to ask the anchor,
Yeah.
you know, I mean, we can, worst we get is $5,000 a month.
Yeah.
we can do a social media campaign.
But I think George's idea is good too, with all the.
We've done that before.
printouts, and that's a one-time expense, you know.
Yep.
And we can easily get them laminated, you know, so they last through the winter and stuff. You know, and they're there for more than a week.
Good?
I like it.
So next is new business, and,
Hey, George, can I bring up one?
yep,
thing?
sure, go ahead.
You and I both got an email from Mary Ann earlier today about a Garrison Cove.
We did?
We were not able to get to that in our meeting, so I'm hoping we can bring that up in this
It
section.
must have gone to my
Darcy
other.
was on the email as well. Can you pull up that email?
Oh,
Must have
yep.
gone to another, my previous email, sorry.
Okay, wait, which one was this? Did I get this?
I think you were on it today.
Let me find it. Mary Ann.
It was to George, to me.
Here we go. Good morning, here we go, this is it.
Yeah, if it was this morning, it definitely went to my,
Right, is this one we're looking at?
Yep.
Okay, and then is there an attachment?
So you can just read the email so everyone can, or people can read it, I guess, but.
I think I can see
Okay.
that from here.
Can you
Okay,
just read the
stand by.
email?
Yep, I will read the email. Good morning. The Resiliency Committee is planning to apply for a Maine Public Working Waterfront Infrastructure Grant to upgrade the Garrison Cove Landing. This grant would cover both design and build. Preliminary engineering was done a few years ago to get a sense of cost. Billy mentioned, bringing to you all early in the process to get your thoughts and considerations. Attached is a portion of the 2022 proposal to give you a sense of what is in mind. I'll bring the full proposal this afternoon to the fisheries meeting for anyone interested.
Thank you.
Yep. And, do you want to go through these? Mary, did you want to talk about this, Mary? Yeah.
Yeah, make her hold the microphone.
I get present for you. Oh, you got a clip-on one? Oh, yeah. Yeah.
She's a pro.
You get the fancy stuff.
Oh.
Came out all prepared, I was impressed.
You love that thing, you just like walk around.
It's a natural.
Our own little Jerry Springer.
You stand up.
It's way more exciting.
I'm testing this so that you can use it the next time.
Oh, nice.
How's that? I just wanted, as I was talking to Billy and David too, I'm not sure how many shellfish harvesters use Garrison Cove. But for those of you that do, it's in need of repair badly. And also, we're looking to have it be made more resilient. So we had a engineering design, top-level engineering design done in 2002 to get a sense of what the cost would be. And we have an opportunity now to apply for one in January. And but when we were talking at the Resiliency Committee, Billy brought it up, which is a good idea. It would be good to get some input from those of you who use it, to get a sense of what things you see as issues, how you use it now, because it's very restricted. This is kind of what's up there is what is the town property. And that is the area that they'll be putting in a new landing. And then also, we're building up the shoreline with a type of living shoreline where they're going to bury baskets of rock with helical anchors and then put soil on top and plant seagrass so that you could start to build a natural, what's the word I'm looking for? Bluff.
Bluff, there you go. That works.
So the issue is, of course, is it a very constricted area, but for those of you who do use it, you might have some thoughts about what you could see would make it better in the area that we have. One of the things somebody brought up was that telephone pole needs to go.
I would like that moved.
And it's on here, believe it or not, that was considered at the time.
That whole road is tight.
Well, you have
It's
to
tight.
Pull in there and you have to back a boat around, and that is right on the corner. And there's a rock wall across the street, so my tire rubs on the rock wall as the boat's rubbing on the pole, as you're going around.
Yeah, so that was one thing, and you might think of other things. It's going to be, I think they're talking about, well, I have the issue here. They're talking about leaving it at the height it is now for sea level rise will work, and extended also can be a all tides launch. They know that the side to the east is used to park and pull boats, park, and also pull trailers around when you're putting things in and out. So that's going to be considered, and that may be part of the plan. So if you think of some things that you would find other than more room, which we can't provide right now, we'd like to hear from you, because that would be something we can then consider when we're talking to the engineers. So that's it. It's about a $400,000 project.
Wow.
And if we were to get the grant, actually I think it's going to be more now because it's been a few years. Maybe let's just say 500. We have to put in 5%, I believe. but the rest would be state money. So, yeah.
How do you want to hear from people?
Probably,
Talk to Billy?
Yeah, she's going right to Billy.
right to Billy, or,
I mean, I
and
use the ramp.
and we meet the first Tuesday of the month. So ideally, it would be nice by December, if you have some thoughts, or just, you know, I can say, you can even email them to me, or Billy, or Darcy. How about that?
Harbor Master.
Harbor Master.
Yep, at town.harpswell.us.
And then, you know, it's just so that we can bring these up with the engineer when we're talking to him.
Well, I'll just throw out there, the pole and all tides would be great. Specifically since mackerel go during low water, you would all be all the way out the lobster car before you get that use, and I've seen enough visitors bury their trucks out there.
Yep.
They bury them up?
To the frames,
Oh, okay.
apparently they don't understand four-wheel drive does not need you to float.
Oh, okay. All right.
Four-wheel float.
Or will float.
I do know, we talked in the meeting the other day, there's a right-of-way, there's a road that kind of goes down through that strip, and so kind of understanding where that is, and if there's opportunity to find places to park cars and trailers and crane trucks and boats and things like that. I mean, parking is huge, and that strip of land, I looked at it when I was launching a boat, hauling a boat the other day, it's bigger than it looks on there, it's pretty wide.
It is pretty wide, and I guess it's whether you're there at low tide or high tide.
Yeah.
But I just learned the other day that that's the Wentworth Road where the Wentworths lived at the corner. She gave from the high tide down to the water to the town because she didn't want to pay taxes on it.
Oh,
And that's evidently where the town got that property,
gotcha.
the pink property. So Wentworth Lane continues, but it basically stops at the end of her property, I believe, their property. So,
How else are you getting information or talking to people?
well, I've talked to people who live around there to let them know what we're thinking. And normally what'll happen, if we were to get the grant, and then we would have the engineer have a public meeting, a stakeholder meeting, you would invite people to come and give comments, but they would be showing you some type of a plan to work from. This time we're just reaching out ahead of time because I think the more information you have specific to the area is helpful when you're making a design, when you're telling what you want, having a design for.
And also when you apply for a grant, you want to say this many people are using it, and these different types of
Exactly,
people are using it,
yeah.
and all these uses, and it's a working waterfront grant, so you really want to understand how many working waterfront people are using
Exactly,
it. And that's
and-
the idea of bringing it here and understanding.
And I think that's good, so we're really looking for input because that will be helpful when we're trying to elect the grant.
So what I was gonna mention, is there something, like even if it's just a flyer at the town office? Because it seems like now is probably when people are coming into the town office more. I don't know.
I don't know if it's something where you want that type of outreach, or would be more of like conversation type? Because we don't
Yeah.
have the grant. It's not like you're applying for a grant, so it's more
We're
of like.
applying for the grant, so my sense is we would do better getting input from those that are in the working waterfront right now, and the neighbors, of course. And then once we get the grant, hopefully this time, this will be the second try, hopefully when we get the grant, then that's when we could put a note out to the town.
So this is a working waterfront grant? Okay, so
But-
then,
but it's being
but you
funded.
are gonna still have to look at the impact for recreation?
Oh, yeah.
So, because you keep saying that you're only looking for working waterfront, but when you're saying that you only want to ask certain people, I don't want to say it seems weird, but it seems like there's a lot of people that probably use Garrison Cove that don't live there.
Yeah, but, so the grant is a working waterfront grant, and I believe there's $200 million in the fund, something like that. So, in order to get the grant, you have to say, hey, this is a working waterfront piece of property. These
Yeah,
people
I
are using.
understand that. I'm just saying, if you want to make sure that you're having a well-rounded before you apply for a grant, then you want to make sure that even if it has some adverse stuff to it, you want to know that before you apply. right?
I mean, I don't know.
It's something we hadn't considered. This was kind of the first time to consider.
I know, blowing your mind right now that I'm worried about the recreational part, but I'm just saying. I've just seen a lot more than just working waterfront down there, and if you're,
Oh, it is, and just not to interrupt you, but this particular grant is specific to the working waterfront.
I
So-
understand that,
so-
but it's gonna impact everybody, not just the working waterfront.
Yes, and in it, it talks about having it for neighborhood beach, because it is used by the neighbors. And it's in the grant details. It's just that the last time we applied, it was for roads that were getting flooded. So we're stretching. So what I was concentrating this time on was to embellish as much as we could about the working waterfront, because that's what they're going to be looking for to give us the money. To your point, I'm a little hesitant to put it wide open. We don't have the grant yet. Not that you don't want to hear bad things too. But I hesitate because when we have the grant, we will then reach out, but I would hate to have a lot of pushback on something we don't have yet, if that's one way to put it.
So
And the
that's
biggest
my
thing-
worry though, is if you're worried about that, then,
But this ramp is a super high value ramp, like crazy valuable to the town, like, you're from the island, like that, if we lost that ramp, and that ramp is in terrible shape. I can use it because I have a four-wheel drive truck, but I mean, it is in terrible shape. So if we lose that,
I'm
so
not
really-
saying that. I'm saying I am a planner and I plan for the crap to happen.
That's true.
And it's better to know ahead of time what people are gonna be mad about, if anybody's mad about anything, before you go apply for a grant, so your grant is very well-rounded, is all I'm getting at. And I don't always look at when people have a negative thing that it's a bad thing, because I think it's a different perspective,
Yeah.
that it just, that's my only thing. I know obviously that it's something that we need and it needs to be done, but
think
I just,
Yeah, it's crucial for the working waterfront for that to be accessible for boaters throughout the tide, whether it's low tide or high tide, if that's what's
It's-
gonna make it happen.
I mean, we're talking about optics of how we wanna look to our people that we live next to that aren't fishermen. So I think it should just, that's just my take on it. I think if you wanna make it well-rounded, you should have the naysayers get it out of the way. And then whatever you have should be smooth sailing after that. But
So I have a question as we're talking here, I'm thinking. Normally, you give somebody something to look at to respond to. How would we do this if we were to just put a flyer out there? I guess what I'm saying is if,
do you use Garrison Cove? And then you're gonna get more than just the neighbors and the people that are gonna
No,
agree
I
with
guess
you
what
that
I'm
you need
saying-
it to be done.
the only way I can see doing it at this point, just as I'm talking with you, would be to say we are considering a boat launch at Garrison Cove. What input do you have? We're not going to be showing them a plan because we don't have one at this point.
The town is applying for a grant. We're looking for as much input as we can for the Garrison Cove launch. I mean, I just think putting it at the town office gives a lot more people the ability to have a say, and then you can, I'm sure Billy knows probably more than anybody about using that space down there. That's not what I'm worried about.
I just don't think the town gets townwide input on every grant they apply for. This may be one they should, but usually you get the money and then you say, hey, we've got this money to do something down there. It needs to be, geared towards this, but then you get the stakeholders in, you get, design, I'm up for whatever, but I just thought it was a good idea to, maybe it wasn't a good idea to bring.
Well, no, I'm serious, because the last time we applied for this, we didn't talk to anybody. Well, we did talk to a few. In fact, WGME came down and filmed when we had Barney Baker down there.
Mm-hmm.
And Chris McIntyre was interviewed. And he talked about, how they use it. And I didn't talk to the neighbors,
You did or you did not?
did not. But I thought this time, it's so close to home. You can learn more specifics, not whether they want to go up there, but whether, some of the things they'd like to bring out, which I did learn of how it drains out of that wetland and everything. So they gave important information as far as what needs to go to the engineer when they're thinking about design. To tell you the truth, Allison, I didn't even give it a thought, and I'm not sure. But it's something to think about.
I just think there's a lot of people in town that we miss the opportunity to come together, whether it's something we agree on or not, that we can all do a better job of trying to communicate with each other, whether we're fishermen or whether we don't fish or whether we do whatever we do. And I get what you're saying, but I think that's part of our breakdown sometimes in Harpswell is
No, agreed.
we can make a bigger reach so people aren't saying, oh, I didn't know about that. Oh, I didn't know that was happening. And then we have people that are like, nobody gives a crap what I say anyway, and that's why they don't come to meetings. And you see it at all the meetings here. So it's just, it's one of those things that it kind of continues just because it's the way we've always done things. But I like to hear from all angles, whether it's someone that disagrees with me or not, or has a different perspective of how something gets used than I do. And I think everyone that lives here has the right to do that.
Yeah,
That's how we
interesting
get
point.
more voices.
We have to think more about how we present it and so forth. But no.
And that's nothing negative on you. I think you're like one of the heroes of this town, actually, Mary Ann. You do a lot of work here. So I'm not saying anything negative on you. I know you're always doing your best to
It's
to
just
reach and talk to
hadn't thought about
different
it, not
types of
sure.
people and everything too. But again, it's a different perspective, so.
That's fine. Different perspectives are good.
Yeah, I agree.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody else?
I have two short things. One is in our previous meeting, we learned about wayward float that's flying around out there that I needed to get a contractor to help me deal with. And I have here the one pager that is how anybody can become an approved contractor for the town of Harpswell. It's just got the insurance requirements. If you want to pass this around, I would be so psyched if more people would sign up if you.
Basically, you're looking for somebody that could tow a boat off. the water,
Exactly. A
that's
lobster boat is super helpful in a lot of these cases, but you
Nice.
do have to meet the insurance requirements for the town. Right now, there's only one group that's applied for that, and they're going out to deal with the float that we've got.
I don't know why.
Slower down.
Yeah, let me take one and give them all.
Yeah. So anybody that wants to go down that road, or at least be on the list, especially the east side of town, there's, stuff that goes on all the time, and some of it's real timely, and if you carry liability insurance, put the town on it, and have your workers' comp, you're just approved. You're an approved person, and I can contact whoever's in whatever area to deal with these little mini crises that we have. So anybody that wants to get on there, pass them around.
Nice.
And you get paid?
You get paid as a
I think
contractor.
there's a washerman in this one, so.
Well, but there's a way to get around that. You can self-certify, yes, I'm an independent contractor. That's what this little thing is for, this little highlighted thing. If you go to the website, you kind of digitally fill out a form. So I think a lot of people would qualify for that. I would love to have more options for us to use some local knowledge. And then my second update is the Casco Bay Estuary pre-proposal grant that we applied for. I heard back from them, and we have been invited to apply for the full grant. They love our project, so I'm putting that together. It is a little shifted. Originally, we were going to partner with QVC, and they had some resource issues for committing, so we're buying the equipment ourselves. We're going to do it ourselves. We're going to own it, and I'm putting in there enough to do 400 tests the first year. And
400?
yeah. Yeah, and so they thought that was a great project. It's unique in Casco Bay, no other community's doing that, so I think we have a really good chance of getting fully funded.
Nobody else had applied for something similar either?
No, not for this type of monitoring, so. And I have to submit that by December 5th, and they should be making their final decisions by the third week of January, so we'll hear. And even though
Will you be gone?
I'm away, but I'm not in the desert, I will get email and phones, I will get the
At least
results.
We're
let
and
blowing
then
her
I
up
will-
with text while she's gone for 2 months.
Yeah, and then I will call you, Matt, and you can
No,
be
you
like,
email me,
hey.
that'd be expensive to call, I think.
So can we back up just a second? So when you say work, contracting work, what are you talking about?
So for example, this last season, we had like a giant tree was fetched up in some moorings up in like Rich Cove, and it was me and Greg, very unequipped to deal with it, struggling to drag it out of there. So somebody with like a lobster boat could take that thing out of there easily. There's floats that go, missing, and we're supposed to lasso onto it and get them off the shoreline and secure them somewhere, or if they're going to the dump, get them over to a landing, where we can haul them away. There's just a ton of small things that, we're not the best people to do that. We're great at driving around, but there's people with work boats with experience handling heavy duty stuff that could do the job a lot better. So if you've got the right insurance, and I have a list of people, then if I've got, a tree tangled up in some moorings in a certain part of town, I can call whoever's closest and be like, hey, could you go get to this today? If they're busy, I can call someone else and offer it to them. So it's kind of ad hoc items of opportunity. There's not necessarily like a complete list where you can pick what you want to do. It would be, if you're on the contractor's list, I can call you if you're available and send you out there to do it. You can tell me, all right, I'll do it for this much money. If it's a crazy amount of money, I can call someone else and see if they can do it cheaper. But the big thing that's holding us back from doing that is that so far, there's just no one who's willing to deal with the insurance requirements, which they are really not a big deal. If you run a business, you probably already have that much liability insurance or close to it, or you can look into getting it. And then the workers' comp thing, like I said, it's if you don't actually have workers' comp insurance, there's a way around it. You just have to go on that website that it mentions and fill out the digital form, and then you get added to a list of people that say, I certify I'm an independent contractor. And it's pretty straightforward, and I'm hoping to shift a bunch of our stuff that we did slowly and poorly and took forever doing over to that, which is part of the reason why I'm not hiring and backfilling a second deputy harbor master this year. I think a bunch of the work that we got sucked up with time to do could get done quicker and better and probably cheaper, contracting it out to local people. So.
Anybody else?
I have a question on the water testing thing.
Yeah.
That test is going to test what?
It's going to test for fecal coliform. It will give you similar results to what the DMR does when they do their water quality testing to determine P90s for their stations.
Caution birds.
They don't care what the source is. They test for, is there fecal coliform in the water?
Yeah.
So that's what we'll be testing for.
I mean, we've already got, what does the state got? How many P90 stations in the town of Harpswell? Quite a few.
Yeah, quite a few.
Yeah. We just adding a few extra.
Great.
If you hurry, you can do it in an hour. Be your first one.
Anything else? So I have something, I'll try to keep it brief because we're at our deadline here. So after these meetings, not much goes on for a couple weeks. We all have busy lives, and it's like, okay, we got through another meeting, and you don't really hear much until the agenda comes out, or some suggestions or whatnot. So, and anyways, I try to catch up when I can, and I as the meeting gets closer, I focus more on mentally preparing, for what's going to happen, and focus on the agenda. So, one of my thoughts was that we've created this list of goals, and at our first meeting, I looked up and down the table both ways, and I was like, this is a fantastic group, and I know we're going to get a lot done. So I guess my thinking the past week or so was, at the December meeting, on the agenda, I would like to put for the December meeting a list of our goals that we've got, and at the December meeting, pick one to start working on at the January meeting. Let's pick one thing, and if we have to work on it a little bit each meeting, let's get something done. Because this is a good group, and let's get aggressive, a little more aggressive about the goals. I know we can do it, and let's hammer something out. And if we meet a roadblock, we just go to the next one, but let's not attack 5 goals at once and kind of be treading water. Let's cross some stuff off the list. So in the December meeting, I'd like a list on the agenda of the goals and take a few minutes to pick one. I don't care which one it is. We can go for the tuna or we can start off with a mackerel, whatever you guys want to do.
Can you write, what are they again?
I've got a list here. There's education, water testing. Obviously, this Meals in a Pinch is obviously going to be on there. I mean, we've already got a great start on that.
You said we haven't got anything done, we're doing a lot of stuff.
Yeah. No, I'm not saying we haven't got anything done. I'm just saying, let's get a definitive list, and I'll get that list to you, and then let's pick something and cross it off.
I like
So
that, George.
I like to do that for January.
Good idea.
I like to talk about it in December, pick something, and then start hammering in January. My next question is, and I know what you're going to say, Allison. If we don't have you here January and February, Darcy, who's going to do the agenda?
I mean,
George.
So I'm fine with that. I just need to know.
I can help, yeah.
Okay.
all right, and I can set you guys up with like the,
Okay.
the
If you
the
just send us
format.
the template.
Yep, I will send you that, and I can maybe see also if there's somebody on the town staff that can, assist a little bit to not leave you guys
What's Greg
stranded.
doing?
No,
George, I can,
he
George, I can
hates
help.
admin.
Okay, that's fine. And I'd also like to talk about the agenda a little bit quickly. When it comes out, I think we all get a rough draft, a first, I guess, one-off. And I don't really see a lot of committee member input, which is fine if you don't have anything, but if you want to add something to the agenda or think something should be changed, please definitely reach out. And then if I don't get back to you in a timely manner, Darcy, with an approval of the agenda, certainly, Samantha, if you see it and read it, go for it. Just
I think a lot of the times we were backing off because our meetings were 3 hours long. So,
Yeah.
I mean, now we're getting
Yeah.
better and maybe we'll be
Yeah.
like, okay, let's add this, but
Yeah.
3 hours.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, well, that was the first one, and we,
You don't
We've
love
gotten
that?
better
I mean, my
every
kids,
week
yeah.
or every month.
yeah,
So as it stands right now, we need
I
a
had you there.
schedule for Meals in a Pinch, and we need to spread the word for the 15-minute review next month, and hopefully get some more.
yes, so that's what I'm gonna add to the list of goals. And when we get here in December, we're gonna pick something. We're gonna say, that's what we're doing, and we're gonna and at the January meeting, we're gonna start hammering that out, so.
And just find that information out, Jay, and if you forward it to the group, and then
Yeah.
I'll talk to Katie, and we might have one of those done by next meeting.
Yeah, I was going to say that's an action item. I'll get back to you with details. I've started an email already.
Perfect.
And I was going to offer to reach out to the anchor about an article.
Yep.
And I'm not the best person to talk about the topic, but I can at least approach them and give them Matt's name.
And drop any names you want.
We're
Yeah.
trying to get it for free.
No, I was talking about an article, but in that context, you could also be saying, what do you do about public service announcements, public service
Yeah.
ads? I mean, I'm happy to do that if you'd like me to.
Oh, do you mean actually writing and having them write an article about it?
Yeah.
I like that even better.
Yeah, tell them you got some experienced fishermen here, and they won't charge you much for an interview. Just-
I can talk to Craig Anderson, because he had already kind of talked to me about doing a type of maritime article as
Yeah.
well, so.
If you want to do that, I won't.
No, I'm gonna add you to the email.
Okay. Yep.
Cloud.
And it wouldn't hurt to add the editor, JW.
Yeah, good
Yeah.
idea. See, that's why we're at you, for good points like that. Thank you.
Many heads. Sounds good.
Good. And there's one thing that's always on my agenda that you guys don't get. It says Billy's time to shine.
Motion to adjourn.
Oh, did you not have a public comment? You didn't do public?
Oh, public comment, I'm sorry. Is there any public comment?
I feel like I should just mention who I am. So I was here with the all culture working group, and I introduced myself there. But I haven't introduced myself to all of you guys. So I work with the Maine Aquaculture Innovation Center, and we're doing like a project on what you guys did with like the commercial fishing. And we're working on a white paper. We'll get that white paper to you. My whole team's in Scotland right now for a conference. So when they get back, they're just gonna look at it, and then we're gonna send it in to you guys so you guys can look at it, and then hopefully make some adjustments and that type of stuff. So, but yeah, my name's Josh Tay. So yeah.
Josh, I forget your last name.
Richards.
Richards?
Yep.
Thank you.
And it, also, next meeting is December 10th.
Didn't need to rain on your sunshine, Billy.
And now,
We have been here since 4.
8 minutes past, Billy.
Hey,
Everybody good?
every month.
Better.
Hey,
Yes, we are. Thank you, everyone.